I started streaming. So I realized something, and I think it's a totally legit, very interesting thing that I, excuse me, I've been thinking about or it's been coming to me over time here. But I'm just going to explain it to you by reading some Bible verses and pointing out some things. And I'm doing a screen share so that you guys can read along with me. And hopefully, looks like everything's working. Hopefully I got audio. Let me check. Yeah, okay. So, let's go to Daniel 7. You guys can see that, right? Alright, cool. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse from one another. Okay, so I just want to point out that he saw the four winds of heaven, and he said, strove upon the great sea, and then four great beasts came up from the sea. Okay, I'm not really trying to point out anything about the beasts or anything. I'm more trying to talk about the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea, and then that these beasts came up from that sea. And we're going to go to Revelation 7. Okay, verse 1. After these things I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And then verse 3 says, this angel says to these other angels, hurt not the earth, neither the sea nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. Alright, now we don't need to go there yet. I'm just okay, dark waters. There's waters above. Okay, Genesis 1 verse 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. 2 Samuel 22:12 says, and he made darkness pavilions round about him, dark waters, and thick clouds of the skies. Job 22:11 says, or darkness that thou canst not see, and abundance of waters cover thee. Psalm 18:11, he made darkness his secret place, his pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. And I don't know if I need to read that. Or yeah, I guess I will. Amos 5 verse 8, seek him that maketh the seven stars and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. Let's see here. Okay, Isaiah 27 verse 1. In that day the Lord with his sword and great and strong sword shall punish Leviathan, the piercing serpent, even Leviathan, that crooked serpent, and he shall slay the dragon that is in the sea. Isaiah 51:10, art thou not it which hath dried the sea, the waters of the great deep, that hath made the depths of the sea a way for the ransom to pass over? Then we've got, looks like I was looking up Psalm 77, 18 verse 18 through 20. The voice of thy thunder was in heaven, the lightnings lightened the world, the earth trembled and shook. Thy way is in the sea, and thy path in the great waters, and thy footsteps are not known. Some of these I just open the page, the context. Uh-oh. Don't do this to me now. Okay, it's gonna take a second on that, I guess. Uh-oh. It's just not doing anything. Oh, there we go. Okay. Isaiah 51, 9 through 11. Awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord. Awake, as in the ancient days, in the generations of old. Art thou not that hath cut Rahab and wounded the dragon? Art thou not it which hath dried the sea, the waters of the great deep, that hath made the depths of the sea a way for the ransom to pass over? Therefore the redeemed of the Lord shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. Another one in Daniel, I think. My computer's so... Sorry, guys. So while I'm waiting for this to open... Okay, now it's open. And that's... We already read this. Okay, I just want to point out that the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea. That's not talking like the ocean of the earth. It's talking about the deep waters, or the deep, or the dark waters, or the waters above. And four great beasts came up from the sea. Do you guys get what I'm saying? They came up from the sea. Well, that is true, because we know okay, that's not the one I'm looking for. Okay, that's not either. Oh, here we go. Revelation 13. The beast, in Revelation 13, the first beast. Listen to this. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. So Daniel saw 4 great beasts coming up from the sea. Now John in Revelation 13 tells us that he saw a beast come up from the sea, or rise up out of the sea. And then if we go to, I guess I didn't open that, Revelation 17, or no, 11. What am I thinking? I should have opened both of those. Sorry, guys. Because the beast is coming up from that sea, you guys. Because, John just said that he saw a beast rise up out of the sea. Well, guess what the sea is? This is verifying the thing I've been saying or learning and saying, and that everyone disagrees with, but not everyone, but a lot of people disagree with. This is the bottomless pit, the great deep, those dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. That's the bottomless pit, and I can show that to you because right here. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. That's Revelation 11. Then if we go to Revelation 18, let's see. I'm just kind of skimming, or trying to. Come on, computer. Oh, wow. Okay, so it's talking about the great city. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off. This is the firmament, you guys. And cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? Verse 21, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And you know why? Or we have proof that John saw that it won't be found anymore, that great city Babylon. And I'm talking about the dark waters, the great deep, the waters above. They won't be found anymore, because look what John sees in, I think it's Revelation 20. Nope, 21. Look what John says. I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea, because it was thrown down with violence. So that's the thing I realized, is that the waters above is the bottomless pit, and that's where the beasts come up from. Daniel saw the four winds of, or what did he say? Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea. So the great sea is the waters above. And four great beasts came up from the sea. First one was the shuttle. Second one was the Russian Soyuz. Third one is the space station. Fourth one is Falcon 9, SpaceX. Falcon 9. John in Revelation 13 verse 11 sees another beast coming up out of the earth, speaking like a dragon. That's a Falcon 9 rocket that lifts dragon into orbit. And then in verse 13 he sees it making fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, which it does. It lands using thrust to arrest its velocity. There you go. That's what my take is. Now I'm gonna go check out the YouTube chat area. Just in time, 560. What's up, Joe? Perfect timing. Got a long drive. Oh, got a long drive. Drive safely. You guys get what I was saying there? I hope you do. But that was really about all there is some more verses I can probably go. Where were we? I did some other searches. The bottomless pit. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. Think about it. If the pit is the dark waters, or the waters above, and that's where the sun, moon, and stars are, right? So if there's smoke in that pit, it'll cover up the sun, moon, and stars. It'll make it hard to see, like we'd have to look through the smoke to see them, right? Revelation 9 verse 11, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, and that's Abaddon or Apollyon. Revelation 11 verse 7, I think we just read that. And when they have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, shall overcome them and kill them. Revelation 17 verse 8, and the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is, when they see it. So if I'm just trying to be clear, waters above, bottomless pit. What came up from the bottomless pit? What's the beast that came up from the bottomless pit in the last 20 years? There is one. It's internationally it's an international effort. The whole world had to come together to build it. Revelation 20 verse 1, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. 20 verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up. So yeah, that's, I think, or maybe we got more here. I just do sometimes I just do word searches to get like a better grasp on how the Bible's using some of these terms, because when I think of seas, I think of like the Pacific Ocean and the oceans of the earth, but there's certainly another great sea above us, and that is also part of believing the Word of God, biblical cosmology. If you believe you're on a globe, you're not going to understand any of this stuff. None of it. Doesn't make any sense. You don't believe there's water up there. You think there's some vast universe of empty vacuum and no God. So that's why Flat Earth is here, because it's the truth. So, alrighty, that was about all I wanted to say. So, I hope you guys all have a good day, and I'm gonna cut out of here early before I get stuck on here for 3 hours.